Stay awake past 3 a.m. A woman in her early 20s was away from home on a business trip. The night before she was supposed to board her plane, she had trouble sleeping and had this intense fear that someone was staring at her in her room. She was up until 3, tossing and turning until she started to hear whispers. It was a deep voice repeating the words, "I'm coming to get you, I'm coming to get you." But she ignored it and eventually fell asleep. After her plane landed, she was exhausted but drove home anyway. About 30 minutes into her drive, she started hearing the same whispers from the previous night, but she thought it was because she was sleep deprived, so she kept driving. She was almost home when she began to feel sick. Her eyes were watering, her nose was running, and she let out a large sneeze. "Bless you," said the same deep, eerie voice. She quickly pulled into her driveway, hugged her husband, and sat down to tell him what was going on when this happened.
I can still hear that voice.
You should never watch TV late at night. Once a mother and a father decided they needed a break, so they planned a night out together, and they left their 2 children with their babysitter at home. Everything was going good, the children were well behaved, and the babysitter was just sitting around while watching the kids, but eventually she decided that she wanted to watch some TV. It turns out she couldn't watch it downstairs because they didn't have cable downstairs, so she called the parents and asked if she could watch TV with the kids in their room upstairs. The parents agreed. They were about to hang up the phone when the babysitter had one final request. As she entered the parents' bedroom, she asked if she could cover up their large clown statue with a cloth or a blanket. She said it was making her very uncomfortable. The phone line went dead for a second. Then the mother said over the phone, "Take the children and get out of the house. We don't have a clown statue." As the babysitter turned around, she saw the corners of the clown's mouth widen into a smile.
Imagine finding a mysterious box in your attic that doesn't belong to you. And when you look inside the box, you find a container of human teeth, a doll with no eyes, and a photo of a girl with her face scratched off. You also find a necklace, and a card that says the veil glass lets you see the other side, a world not too different from our own. But someone had written on the bottom of the card, "Don't let her see you." As you look through the glass necklace, you see a woman with long dark hair and a distorted face, almost as if her features were burned off. So you throw the box away, terrified of what you just saw, only for the box to reappear on your table as soon as you come back inside. That's when you hear the sound of a child laughing coming from upstairs. You go up and find the doll with no eyes, and when you reach out to touch it, it says, "I see you." And suddenly your attic opens by itself. So what's really waiting for you in the attic? And who is the woman who only appears through the necklace? This short film is called Take a Look, and honestly it was a lot scarier than I expected. So check out the short film and follow for more. In spending a day at the swimming pool, except your sister loses her engagement ring in the water. So you dive back in to retrieve the ring, but the manager doesn't see you and starts closing down the pool. Your hair gets sucked into the drain, trapping you underwater. And when you finally free yourself, the pool cover has already completely closed above you. You and your sister scream for help, but it's too late. There's no one coming to save you until the weekend is over, which means you will have to escape an enclosed pool or risk drowning to death. That's when your sister tells you that her insulin shot is in her bag by the poolside, and if she doesn't take it soon, she could fall into a diabetic coma. Knowing you're running out of time, you start trying to find ways to break the pool cover. That's when you hear footsteps coming closer and closer to you. It's the night janitor who's preparing to go home for the weekend. But can this total stranger be trusted, and how will you and your sister survive this? Before I tell you the name of this movie and where to watch it, make sure to follow for more horror and movie content. This movie is called 12 Feet Deep, and you can watch it on Prime Video. Imagine you're a child psychiatrist and your patient is a boy in a wheelchair who draws terrifying creatures that he calls his friends. So you ask about his drawing of a clown with sharp claws. The boy says that's his friend Mr. Pinky, and his claws are for scratching people who make him mad. So you ask, is that what happened to your mother? As you know, his mother's body was found with similar scratch marks that couldn't be explained. But the boy insists that Mr. Pinky killed her. Trying to make sense of it all, you confront him about what he did to his mother. That's when all the crayons on the table start melting, and huge scratch marks appear on the wall behind you. You jump up and grab a sedative, but this only makes things worse. As you approach him with the syringe, his wheelchair moves away on its own. You look to the side and your arm is now pinned to the wall, having been completely ripped off by something that you can't see. So what'll happen when you finally see all of his imaginary friends? And what else are they capable of? This short film is called Duel, and the ending was so much crazier than I expected. So check out this short film and follow for more.